Bakhtiari claims that it is turf related. Can we put an end to this bleep already? And this goes back to the
already voted as one of the worst fields in the game.
And they just put down a new
surface there
with extra toxic black rubber pellets
that we saw on everybody's
Sunday
faces.
Like it was an outbreak of some disease. Little black specks
Josh Allen
all over everyone's
had it all over
face.
his face at one point.
I mean, and it's funny because I tweeted something about the toxic pellets and who knows? That's the problem with social media. Anybody out there can pick up a megaphone and respond to you. But somebody's trying to tell me it wasn't toxic. It's rubber. It's stuff that was tires that they ground up into tiny little pellets and use as cushion. It's clearly toxic.
Eat some and tell me how that works out for you, okay?
Sprinkle some on your post toasties
people
this morning.
Just want to fight back against everything. The sky is not blue. No, it is.
So the issue with the turf, and I can't understand this for the life of me, because I've said this before, even if the owners don't think of the players as human beings, and I would submit to you, and I'm sorry, 345 Park Avenue, but they know, plenty of the owners do not think of their players as human beings. They're interchangeable parts in a giant football machine. They are chattel. They are property. They are guys who come and go all
they're
the time.
Inventory on the shelf.
They're here, they're gone.
Right.
They're here, they're gone. And we run the team, and the team is what stays. That's what endures, and it's always going to be somebody else, and there's no greater turnover than there is on the roster. Even with that, you have made multi-million-dollar investments in these players, and you put them out there in a position where that investment can go straight to shit, and no big deal.
I know.
You think Woody Johnson wouldn't say? I mean, that's where it astounds me. Everything they did to get Aaron Rodgers.
Does the concerts and all those things make up for that?
Is it really worth it?
Is
it really worth it?
Right.
And I guess it is. I guess it is. When you sell out for Taylor Swift and you sell out for Bruce Springsteen and you got this show and that show, maybe you make enough money that you're willing to say, well, maybe Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have torn his Achilles tendon if we just had grass. But you know what? That's too vague. That's too amorphous. That's not something we're going to turn into an analytical formula, because at the end of the day, we got this grass field. And if we have that grass field and we have to protect that grass field, then we can't do all this other stuff we want to do where we make a lot of money. And the easy answer is have the system like they have in Arizona, where the grass field, and I think they have it in Las Vegas too.
They do.
Grass field exits the stadium.
Yeah.
And then you do whatever you want.
Right.
That's what all these stadiums need to have. Dome or open roof. Have that field that slides right out. You get the best groundskeepers you can find to take care of that grass, and it's cushioned and it's better than this unforgiving green plastic crap, which is better than it used to be, but it's still. When I trust the guys who are playing, I don't think they're just trying to agitate for the sake of agitating. When you hear constantly that players prefer grass to turf, the only guys who would say, I like turf better, are the ones who rely on one thing, speed. Yeah. And even then,
I don't even think they would.
This isn't as fast as the old
You were on the field in
cement.
Kansas City. That field was fast as hell.
It was incredible,
right?
and it felt great.
And it was a golf course.
And it felt great, and it looked great.
Right.
I felt bad walking even on the sideline.
Right.
It's like, this is pristine.
So
they have the technology. They have the money. The question is, are you going to spend it? And what pisses guys like David Bakhtiari off is they are going to spend it to host a World Cup game.
Well,
because that's what FIFA requires.
Hey, that's right. That's right. Listen, I've been yelling about this for years, even before I started working with you. This has been a complaint when my career was going on. Guys, when we would get told, hey, we got to go indoors today because it's lightning out, we got to go practice on the field turf or, and the artificial surface, right? And everybody would be like, especially linemen and everybody that. You felt it the next day after a practice or after a game. There was a difference feeling. You felt it in your legs. You did. The reshock reverberation of all those rubber pellets goes right back into your legs, so you felt that. It's not as safe, right? Hey, listen, I'm not going to sit here and conclusively say if they played on grass, that wouldn't have happened last night. But what I would say is the grass would have given a chance for his foot to slip or the cleat to move in the front there and not be so stuck in, the artificial surface, that it might have moved and then therefore his Achilles doesn't tear.
Where are the forces
where
going?
it is.
Where are
Right.
the forces going? On grass, the forces go into the ground.
And
on turf, the
Right.
forces go back up into your body.
Exactly. And on grass, they can move because the grass might tear out of the ground or something of that nature, right? What I'm saying there? So it's way more forgiving. And then, yes, on top of that, it just I'm frustrated by it. It is. We Jerry Jones, what he's done.
Stan Kroenke and Jerry Jones are the ones
it's
they're gonna retrofit their stadiums.
America. And then you're going to make the field better for a bunch of Europeans and other people? That doesn't make sense. Wait, the Americans are here and they're telling you they don't want to play on the surface, but you don't want to change it for them. It makes no sense. And then I don't want to hear it from 345 Park Avenue, like player safety. It kind of goes in one ear and out the other with me, because the easiest thing to fix with player safety is that right there, but it costs money. So it's all talk and no walk sometimes. And that's what I don't like. And David Bakhtiari, he said it exactly right with his little tweet.
He had a couple of
everything.
tweets. He had one referring to the soccer players. You care more about soccer players than us. You plan to remove all artificial turf for the World Cup coming up, so clearly it's feasible. I'm sick of this. Do better. And when I complained about this a few months ago, the league said to me, well, it's a hybrid. It's not all grass. Who cares? It's still different.
It's still fake.
And it fits the requirements of FIFA, which is very, very zealous about making sure the grass is right. And
the players, it's in their contracts, a lot of them.
The NFL just
right.
you got to make it a priority, NFL, and that's the thing. To the extent the NFL's TV schedule has been scrapped by this, and there's going to be games maybe flexed later in the year. We got a Week 10 Jets-Raiders game on NBC, and that's right before the official, Week 11 is when the full-blown flex happens, but because of the Peyton Manning injury in 2011, there's an early break glass in event of emergency flex that starts Week 5, not Week 4, but Week 5. They're going to pay for it. The ratings for some of these big-time Jets game, Thursday night game, Black Friday game, if Zach Wilson doesn't step up, the NFL is going to take the hit indirectly to the pocketbook, all because of this. But the thing is, at the end of the day, they'll find a way, and this is what happens. And I know people with teams that get upset about this. The NFL just kind of word salads its way around these issues.
Yeah.
You get somebody who's an expert in spin, and they say whatever needs to be said to get through that topic and move to the next one.
Well, they had a good year statistically with injuries in 2021 on the artificial surface,
not
right?
22.
No, but that year we heard a lot of comments from the NFL about, look at the numbers. And now, has anybody noticed that there's not a peep out of the NFL about the subject this year? Not a peep. And that includes our meeting with the NFL, too, and the networks. Hey, not a peep.
It's off the record.
All right.
Just in case.
Well,
be careful.
Well, I'm just saying, it was not a peep. I'm allowed to say that.
I know.
The meeting before that, there was that year, they talked about it,
Grass.
It wasn't that bad. The year after, it was not discussed. So I have a problem with that. I'm an ex-player. I don't care.
The whole thing, as it was unfolding in the offseason, I was hearing from people, because one of the arguments in response to this urgency to change the kickoff and minimize kick returns, one of the coaches in the NFL got in touch with me and said, why don't they do a study of injuries that happen on kick plays on grass versus injuries that happen kick returns with turf? Why don't they do that? Why won't they do that?
Because even the head hitting the turf,
that's
way worse.
That's one of the two main injuries.
The Tua injury you saw.
The two main injuries, and there was a great segment on Real Sports with Brian Gumbel earlier this year, and that show's going off the air after all these years. And I hope something fills the void, because it's great investigative journalism about things that can affect positive change. Andrea Kramer did a segment about the proliferation of field turf for youth sports, because people see the NFL using it, and they say, hey, this is great. NFL uses it. We should use it too. Let's go get field turf.
Right.
And you get heads hitting the ground, concussions, and you get feet getting stuck, torn ACLs. Or maybe in this case, foot gets stuck, foot jams in, pops the Achilles. We don't know. That's the thing. There's no way to determine it with certainty, and that's how the NFL finds a way to kind of talk around it until it can avoid it, and just kick the can and keep making money and keep having the Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Bruce Springsteen fill up the stadiums, make a lot of money, and we'll just deal with it on the other end. And hey, if somebody gets injured, next man up, next man up, next man up. And that's the way the NFL does it? Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.